Tactics. For many, tactical play is the most satisfying aspect of chess. It should be noted that while you can become an extremely strong chess player by focusing almost exclusively on tactics, it is usually best to try to incorporate all aspects of the game into your playing style. Some very strong tactical players, however, have gone on to achieve greatness. Mikhail Tal, famous for his incredible tactical skills and 8th world champion, comes to mind. Now let's get started. By definition, tactics are the art or skill of maneuvering forces in combat to accomplish an end. Tactics in chess create difficulties for your opponent where they often have to take a loss of force or have the piece's ability to move restricted by a potential undesirable outcome. What I mean by these statements will become clear as I define the most common chess tactics. First, an important lesson about all piece movement to help you better understand chess tactics. Note the following. Every time a piece moves, it stops doing what it did where it had been, it does something new where it moves to, and very importantly, it leaves behind a hole that can be passed through or occupied. Now on to the actual tactics lesson. Pins. A pin is when you lock a piece in place by attacking a more valuable piece behind it if it should move. If it were to move, you would be able to pass through the hole it left behind and strike the piece behind it, thereby making it unlikely to move if the opponent does not wish to lose the piece behind the pin piece, called a relative pin, or unable to move the piece behind the pin piece is their king, since doing so would be putting themselves into check. This is called an absolute pin. Pins are used to gain force or restrict an opponent's movement. Skewers. A skewer is in essence a reverse pin, where you attack a strong piece and win a lesser piece behind the skewered piece. The majority of the time your opponent will save the stronger piece, giving up the lesser piece, which results in you going up the exchange or actually gaining force advantage outright. Fork. A fork is a tactic whereby you actually attack 2 or more pieces with one piece simultaneously. Forks can be accomplished by every chess piece under the right circumstances. They are most often created, though, by knights or pawns. It is possible, though, as just stated, to create a fork with every piece. In the case of a knight, there is one triple fork that is very well known, called a royal fork. Forks almost always result in a gain of force. Discovered attacks. A discovered attack is a tactic that uses the hole left behind when a piece moves to attack another piece by using a piece behind the moving piece to attack yet another piece. If the discovered attack is against your opponent's king, the moving piece can usually move absolutely anywhere safely, since your opponent must respond to the check, often resulting in a gain of material and force unexpectedly if your opponent overlooked the discovery. Removal of the guard. This tactic simply removes the piece protecting another piece that you have under attack, thereby resulting in the first piece no longer being defended and as a result at risk of capture. X-ray attacks. An X-ray attack is a sharp maneuver that can win material by using a battery that is indirectly connected to a center opponent's piece. In this example, black will lose his queen no matter how he responds. The 2 pieces actually work together as if they were connected, despite the fact that the piece between them is there. Desperado. A desperado is actually a very interesting tactic to create a draw that your opponent cannot avoid if the circumstances are right. In essence, you can check your opponent repetitively, placing your attacker right where your opponent can capture it, and him being unable to avoid your checks or to capture your attacking piece without a stalemate occurring. Windmills. Probably the most devastating tactic in chess. A windmill can wipe out almost all of your opponent's army. Now, I have been playing chess well over 50 years now, and I can honestly say I've only achieved or witnessed a windmill 4 or 5 times. They are rare, but if one does present itself, you should know about them since they are an absolutely winning maneuver. A windmill starts out as a check, causing the opponent's king to move into a discovered check that forces him back to the original square and allows the same check to be repeated over and over and over resulting in a loss of several pieces. There are several more subtle and advanced tactics in chess which will be discussed in our subsequent versions of Chess Coach.